Everybody, Friday's workout two-parter. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with some Olympic lifting. We're gonna do a snatch complex every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. That complex is gonna be 1 power snatch, 1 hang squat snatch, okay? If you guys are struggling getting into that overhead position, you can do 1 power snatch, 1 hang power snatch, stand all the way up, get set, and then just try to work your way into the deepest overhead squat possible. You're gonna start around 65% of your 1 rep max, and then just try to build up so long as technique is good. Once we're done with that, we'll go into our conditioning piece. It's gonna be a 14-minute AMRAP. We're gonna have 3 different movements. We're gonna do 20 reps of each of those movements, getting as many rounds as possible. Those movements are gonna be 14 alternating pistols, or you can sub air squats, or so I'll show you guys some scaled options for pistol variations. And then after that, it's gonna be 20 alternating dumbbell snatch, and then 20 overhead dumbbell lunges. So you can break that up anyway, maybe 10 one arm, 10 the other, or you can do 1 round 20 one side, the next round 20 the other. But pay attention to the videos upcoming here, and I'll show you guys some tips and techniques on how to do each movement.
Well, you won't find anything wrong with me snatching this video here, so let's just find all the positive cues we can see here. So from the floor, get a nice setup position, eyes up, chest up, then I accelerate up into those hip pockets before I have a strong punch out overhead. Then I return the bar just above the knees, but notice my arms on the snatches here. They're straight until I get into that hip crease. Strong punch out again. Then when I come back down to the hang, I keep them straight until I pull them up into that hip crease. Because Kay always asks about my snatch, here's a video of 290. Now let's get back to our regularly scheduled broadcast for you guys snatching 75 pounds. If you're not very comfortable getting into your overhead squat in the full snatch, you guys can simply do what's going on here in this complex. I do the first power snatch, then I do a hang power snatch, and then I'm just going to try to keep that bar overhead and squat it as low as I feel comfortable. Each minute after that, as you guys are going up, you'll see here, I'm still doing the hang power again, but every time I'm going to go into that overhead squat, I'm going to try to take it deeper and deeper every time until I feel comfortable. On the alternating dumbbell snatch, I'm going to do 3 different variations here. All 3 are the same in terms of takeoff. It's just where I exchange the bell. So on this one here, I'm bringing that bell right in front of my face before I pull it down, but it's not reckless. I have total control as I bring it down, and every time I get back down, you can notice there's a slight knee bend. Second variation here, I'm going to make the exchange at chest height instead of overhead. Just gives you a little bit more control than bringing it from that top position. But then same thing again, right? It's not just bending at the waist. I am bending my knees as I go back down to the floor. And every single one of them is driven through hard leg drive and then aggressive hip extension. Last variation here, I can bring it all the way back down to the floor before switching then, whichever variation you feel most comfortable with. On the dumbbell overhead lunge, what we're looking for is a nice upright torso here. And I apologize for the noise in the background as my wife is cooking dinner too loudly. But biggest thing we want to focus on here is just keeping that arm nice and close to the body. You'll see from this next angle here as I switch arms that I got my bicep right up next to my ear. Okay, I'm not stepping out too far or too shallow. My knee should be over the mid part of my foot as I go out into my lunge. All right, you 9 a.m. ladies, I know you heard that. No having a mutiny on me tomorrow. If you plan on doing pistol squats but don't have the control, you guys can use some sort of box, bench, or elevated surface to squat down to. Notice here that when I'm leaning back into that pistol squat that I don't completely come de-engaged. I'm just reaching until I feel that hamstring or glute touch to a fixed object before returning back to a standing position. A big limiting factor for most people in the pistol is ankle dorsiflexion, so using some sort of an elevated surface for their heel allows them to not have to do pistols out in space while their heel elevates and just allows them to push off of a plate. What I'm doing right here and right now is just trying to get myself mentally prepped to do a pistol. I wasn't very warmed up, and although successful, did not feel very good. But again, I'm just leaning my chest over my working leg while trying to counterbalance with my hands. And in the video that follows here, you guys will see that I'm normal just like you.